Watercress is commonly known to be one of the superfoods, and it's only going to be a few years until a variety is bred that has significantly increased anti-cancer properties. The Watercress Southampton scientists, funded by Vitacress Salads and Sainsbury, have spent the last 10 years working to find new wild watercress varieties, and they're close to getting the DNA sequenced. I went along to the University of Southampton to find out more. The Professor of Plant and Environmental Biology heads the team of researchers and believes the work they're doing is the only research of its kind in the world. PhD student Nicole Vicina has been researching the watercress for 3 years, and now the DNA is being shipped to New York, where it will be DNA sequenced to produce the very first genetic map of the crop.
Hopefully in a couple of months we'll get the results back and we'll put together our watercress map, our molecular map, and all of the data that we've been collecting over the last several years we can place on that map, and suddenly we'll know which area of the genome that we want to select and breed for in our future watercress varieties.
The university are not looking at genetically modifying watercress, but use old-fashioned plant breeding to select a crop that has better health-giving properties.
You know, we can use molecular biology and the understanding of genes and gene function without producing genetically modified foodstuffs. And that's what we do in a run-of-the-mill way every day, day in, day out. So, for example, one of the things we want to do with watercress is to enable varieties which use less phosphates from the environment. So we improve the phosphate use efficiency of the crop. And so what that ultimately means is that we can grow watercress in a very environmentally friendly way with less phosphates put into the environment and taken up by the crop. And to achieve that, we do need to know about the genes and the molecular biology of the crop. It doesn't mean we need to make a GM plant.
One of the watercress varieties they're working on is registered as Boulderwood. It's a dwarf type that has a sweeter taste, but still maintains a concentration of a plant stress chemical that, when chewed, releases a substance that is known to halt the progress of a cancer tumour growth.
We've gone back to the wild, so we've looked at a wild collection of watercress, and indeed we're still collecting more wild watercress from all over the world, and we've done some crosses, and then we can produce the children of those crosses and indeed the grandchildren, and then we assess those for a particular chemical. There's something in the whole of the cabbage family, and watercress is a member of the cabbage family. There's something in all of those plants called glucosinolates, and we assess this chemical within the watercress to see how little or how much of that is in a particular cultivar. So we know how this special chemical, the glucosinolate, is formed in the plant, and that's important. It's really important to have that understanding, which we can feed back into our breeding and selection program. So rather than going to the supermarket and picking up watercress, which hasn't been bred or improved for a couple of 100 years, in future we may be putting watercress onto the supermarket shelves which has 2 or 4 times the anti-cancer potential of that currently available.
The team are hoping to get the watercress out into the commercial environment and on supermarket shelves in the next few years. But when it arrives, how much of it do we need to eat?
You know, lots of people recommend eating some watercress every day. What I can say is that compared to lots of other fruit and vegetables, nutrient-wise, watercress is the top of the league. So watercress is what we call the most nutrient-dense fruit and veg. So it beats broccoli, cabbage, lots of other things that you may perceive are good for you. Actually, watercress is better than all of those.
This is Shan Robins for That's Solent.